Hey, Mary here. I'm out by the Golden Gate Bridge today to talk to you about teleprompters. Sorry, I'm not still by the Golden Gate Bridge, but it got so windy out there, I had to come inside and finish shooting. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about why use a teleprompter, big mistakes to watch out for when you're using teleprompters, and I'm going to give you my impression of the iPad as a teleprompter and how to create your own teleprompter easily with stuff you have around or that you can get online. So why not go without a teleprompter? Well, you end up talking circles around yourself and reiterating yourself over and over, which ends up with a lot of editing in the studio because our brains are really attuned to just getting the point once, and everybody you see on television pretty much is using a teleprompter. So when we first started, we weren't sure either if we wanted to use a teleprompter on things. Everybody thinks they can just talk. That's ridiculous. So we taped a script below the camera lens, but as you read the script and it gets lower and lower and lower, you begin to look a little bit sleepy when it's down below like that. So people always ask me about the iPad, like, what about using my iPad for a teleprompter? Well, that's great, but you actually have to place it somewhere. And I like my teleprompter to have the camera directly behind it. Now, I'm not using one right now, but when I am, I want to be looking right at you. I don't actually want to end up with crazy eyes. Now, what can happen with the iPad is you're going to have to place it somewhere. If you put it on one side or the other, you're going to look a little, I don't know. I think you actually look a little bit disreputable in a way when that happens. Or you can get that sleepy eyes when you have your teleprompter or your iPad placed below. Or one of the other things that happens when you're actually using a teleprompter and you're reading the text through is that you can end up getting really stiff and still and looking like a deer in the headlights. So it's a good idea to not worry about how many times you need to take it, but practice with it. And then once you're comfortable with it, infuse your emotion back in, because a lot of times we lose the emotion when we're reading. And the idea is that you are reading, but you really want to use your favorite words and the most emotion and authenticity that you can really get. So when you go online to buy a teleprompter, here's one that scrolls your iPad, and it's $1,248.95. Now, the thing that bothers me about the iPad is that it's only a certain size. And, the bigger the monitor is that you have, the more room you have to scroll the text. And so that seems a little bit small to me. If you want to buy a full-blown teleprompter, it's $7,594.95. And I don't know about you, but when I first started doing video for my own business, I just didn't know that I wanted to spend that much money just on the teleprompter alone. There's so much more gear that you would want to get. So the other kind that's a little bit cheaper actually has it so that the script is below again, scrolling below. And this one comes with a 17-inch monitor. So it's pretty big, but it's below the camera lens again, which kind of bugs me. So we decided to go ahead and get some two-way mirror. Now, what that does, that's how these are built, is you can build a frame around the mirror. So I have my guys do that. And the frame is at an angle a little bit so that you can put a monitor underneath, and that would be scrolling your text up here. So, and then you put the camera behind there. And we quickly realized the reason they have a black cover over the camera is just so no light from behind will distract you when you're reading the text. So let's take a look now at the teleprompter that we built and how it works. So here we are on my teleprompter, and it's a funky looking background, and I even have like a little tissue stuck in there because this thing broke recently on one of my trips out. We have it duct taped together. So it's not a very good looking teleprompter, but this is a computer monitor, just an old computer monitor that we had lying around the office. It's actually sitting up on a book. And then this cord goes out, or one of these, I can't tell by looking at this, but one of the cords goes to my laptop, which scrolls the text, and the other cord is just the power cord. So we're lying a computer monitor on its back, and it's scrolling the text very nicely. It's nice and big. You can see it from pretty far back. And then this black cloth makes it so you can't really even see that the camera is behind there, which is awesome. So there's my hand sort of showing you that there's a light back there. So you would see some distracting light if you didn't have that piece of cloth back there. So you can build your own or or you can spend $7,900 and buy one. But there's different places online where you can find the bits and pieces pretty easily. If you need any help building your video studio, that's what we love to do. We also love building WordPress websites and helping you with your own video marketing. The most exciting thing we're doing right now for people are video press releases, which seem to be getting clients very well for people. And I've talked about that in other videos, but I'll talk about that coming up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to put your email in if you haven't already on my email list at newmedialegalmarketing.com. Thanks a lot. About the iPad for a second, I'm going to share how we built our own teleprompter for less than $250, and we've been using it for years successfully. And the problem is that we reiterate ourselves when we're off the teleprompter. The problem with using teleprompters is sometimes we end up... Where are you guys from?
We're from Germany.